When we think of steam, we probably all picture the same thing: that ghost in the machine, the brute force that powered the Industrial Revolution. But what if that's only half the story? We're about to see this elemental force in a totally new light.
For centuries, this was steam's identity. It was that fire, stolen from the gods, a tool for extraction, built to drive pistons, forge steel, and create a world based on having power over nature. It was loud, it was forceful, and yeah, it was completely transformative.
But all that power came at a cost. In our push for speed, we kind of separated ourselves from the natural rhythms of the world. We ended up creating an environment that's defined by oxidation. And you can see it everywhere: rust on metal, decay in living things. It's this unstable condition that just breaks things down.
So this leads to a really important question. Have we been using the right force for the wrong purpose? What if steam was never just meant to push, but maybe to nurture?
To find the answer, we can look at nature's own engine. Deep down in the ocean, you've got magma heat fusing with mineral-rich water. Now, this isn't an engine of combustion, it's an engine of creation. It generates a reductive energy that actively supports life, pushing back against those forces of decay.
Now, imagine if you could replicate that exact process. Well, this is a technology that does just that. It's designed to reproduce the power of magma heat and mineral water, not in the deep sea, but right inside this quiet, humble vessel.
So how does it work? Well, by heating up special mineral water with an iron heat source, it kicks off something called an electron exchange. This creates a hydrogen-rich atmosphere, that reductive environment that generates what some ancient traditions might call chi, or, put simply, life energy.
And here's the key: this engine isn't for driving machines. Its purpose is much, much more subtle. It's designed to regulate all the invisible conditions that life depends on: temperature, humidity, and that critical balance between an oxidative and a reductive atmosphere.
But how can you really measure if an environment is truly life-affirming? Turns out the most honest sensor on the entire planet isn't a machine at all. It's a living plant.
And the result here is pretty undeniable. On the left, there's an orchid in standard air. You can see it struggling. On the right, the same type of orchid, but in a space conditioned by this pure steam. It's not just surviving, it's absolutely thriving. The proof is right there in the bloom.
This whole principle extends directly to our food. Just imagine produce that resists mold and decay, not because it's been sprayed with chemicals, but because the environment itself is balanced. It's an atmosphere that just lets life flourish naturally, staying fresh and vibrant.
And this really mirrors our own needs. Biologically, we're kin to the leaf. An environment that nurtures plants is going to nurture us too, turning our homes into actual sanctuaries that support our well-being.
So this brings us to a really fundamental shift. We're moving steam away from that linear model of extraction and toward a cyclical model of symbiosis. This is the new infrastructure of the home, a system designed not to take, but to sustain.
The era of the industrial engine completely redefined our world. But now, it seems the era of the life engine has begun, and it leaves us with a fascinating thought. If we can create spaces of profound physical harmony, are we also creating the perfect sanctuary for a more coherent mind to emerge?